Hello and welcome to Hockey Classics. It couldn't get any bigger than this. On show this week is the final of the 2003 Champions Trophy held in Amstelveen, Netherlands. Australia are up against Olympic and defending champions, the Netherlands. The Dutch are in supreme form and are unbeaten in the tournament so far with 4 wins in 5 matches, which includes a 6-0 thrashing of world champions Germany. So will Australia cause an upset and take home the trophy they last won in 1999? Or can the hosts lift their 7th Champions Trophy title? Let's check the lineups for the day.
Holland against Australia. It's a full stadium here in Amstelveen, and we're really relishing the prospect of a game between the Dutch and the Australians. It's been a fantastic tournament here, huge crowds, lots of goals, and we just now need a rousing final to bid our farewell. The Netherlands line-up then: Guus Vogels in goal, Lomans and Yazit at the back, Derricks, Van der Weyde, Brouwer, Piet Hein Gerrits, Taka Takema, such a key player for them, as is their skipper Jeroen Delmay. And Teun de Nooijer, my vote for player of the tournament, and up front also Karel Klaver. Joost Bellart there, a last sip of water before this one gets underway. We've had the military bands here playing the anthems. Wonderful occasion this. Australia, Michael McCann, Troy Elder, Eglinton, a superb tournament from him. Craig Victory, Paul Godoyne, always a busy captain. Grant Schubert, a real find for Australia there. Bevan George, Mark Hickman the keeper, Wells, Livermore and Dean Butler. So it'll be Australia in the green shirts. They'll be going from right to left as we look at them. And it'll be the first touch to Australia with Mike McCann. So the first job for Australia will be to silence this huge crowd, most of them, of course, supporting the Dutch. And for a final time, I'm sitting alongside Rick Charlesworth here. We've been up here, perched high above the pitch for these last 10 days or so, and we've seen some superb hockey. Rick, what do you think we're going to see today?
Well, we'll probably see a tough final, and the best 2 teams here are playing in this game. Australia, disappointing early, have started to find their form. The Dutch have played pretty thoroughly throughout, although they did nearly have a hiccup on the first day against India.
Australia swiftly into the attack. They won't be overawed by this. This is a wonderful stage to play on.
Australia came here to win. It's important for the sport in Australia.
Well then, Vogels was committed. The ball deflects wide. Jazban now takes up the beat where the military band left off. Really is a festival atmosphere. Schubert's, and well taken indeed there by Van der Weyde.
The interesting thing today will be this man, Teun de Nooijer. I agree with you, Nick. He's been my player of the tournament, best player in the game in the last 5 years, and how he plays and how Australia counter him will be important for the outcome.
It's very much de Nooijer's kingdom here. It's his favourite stage. We've had some marvellous moments here. Is there going to be another one? These 2 nations were paired together in the ladies' final, the 4-nation ladies tournament. On that occasion, Australia did enough to beat the Dutch girls by 2 goals to 1. Livermore, that's a great ball. And that wasn't too far away. Victory had made the lead.
Victory was almost 50 metres away, and Livermore, terrific skill, saw that option and very nearly connected the pass. That would have been a game breaker, that one.
You can't coach vision like that, can you, Rick?
I think the wiring gets done when you're in your, certainly before your teens, and it's something that some people have and others don't.
Van der Weyde.
Well, the Dutch know they're in a game. This isn't like some of the other matches where they've comfortably controlled it and managed it. Both sides are sharing the attack and making it difficult for one another in defence and in the midfield.
Delmay off the foot of Cummins. De May drill this one to the circle, look for a deflection. Yes, he will. Oh, it's a goal for Holland. I think it was Rekkers in there. It was a pinpoint pass again.
Well, there it is. The ball's hit hard, and Rekkers moves. No, it's Matthias Brouwer, is it?
Brouwer it is, yes. There's Yazet. Holland will want to keep things particularly tight before half-time. We've got 9 minutes left. They won't want to let Australia back into the game. So often in this tournament, sides that have scored have immediately conceded. A little spell of Dutch possession would be what their coach wants now, particularly if it's at the other end of the field, putting further pressure on Australia. Takimar not being opposed at the moment, just holding the ball. And then playing a ball over the top, which Bevan George should handle, but he doesn't. Cummins slips it for Bevan George. Runs on to take the pass. Little foot there, but either not seen or not considered. Umpires pointing in different directions for the first time. I think umpire McCracken will win out there, the ball being in his half. Yazet lofts one of his own. Beautifully taken by Wells. For Livermore now. There's more run down by Teun de Nooijer, but had the composure to win it back. Takimar, solid challenge going in, corner given. And Holland turned to complain, but that looked a pretty sound decision to me.
It's the automatic complaint, but the original decision was for Elder. Elder plays the ball here, and that's what the umpire indicated he gave the decision for, just at the top of the circle, so it's really almost outside the circle there, that breach, but if the umpire determines it's deliberate, then there's no question about it.
There were 2 or 3 things there that could have led to the corner. No difficulty there for umpire McCracken.
Now, will Elder take it? They tried the variation for the hit, or do they want to do something else? I'd be going for Elder.
Crowd are hushed. Elder shot, Vogels' parry. And because the parry went back up in the air, it'll be another corner. So Vogels did well, but he's got to face it again. Could be a goalkeeper.
Well, 1 in 11 hockey players chooses.
2 in 16 indeed.
Well, I'm talking about the normal park players.
So here's Barry Dancer. He'll know this is a key moment. Good shots. Oh, great goal. Craig Victory. Well placed the rebound. It came back off Gus Vogels, and Victory was able to pick his spot. So the confidence of yesterday's goal has restored Craig Victory.
An interesting variation too. Sherbert ran across and went for a little tip in on that hit. It could have worked. It's enough to put the goalkeeper off. But of course, one of the arts that's been lost for the game is defending the hit, because we're so focused on the flick, and those hits rebounding are a great opportunity to score, and as Victory took his well then.
Now De Nooijer for Avers into the Australian circle now. Played across goal, looking for a foot there, no foot comes. Avers. So back to equality again. De Nooijer, Avers. Just wouldn't fall for Dirks, might fall here. Oh! Wonderful, wonderful goal.
Well, Australia would be very disappointed with that. Immediately the Dutch got to the circle. 3 or 4 attempts to clear. The ball comes here to Gerritsen. There's the shot.
De Duin was alert for danger. He was flinging himself in there in a very dangerous situation. But the shot from Piet Hein Gerrits had too much on it for Hickman. And as we said just a few moments ago, sides that score so often concede. We've now Had 3 goals in about 5 minutes. Could be another one here for Harris. Going forward, again taking on that reverse stick side. So Australia shaken by that immediate response from the Dutch. Now Lohmann striding forward. Not a lot of control there, though.
Well, how often do you see the goal scored immediately, or the chance come immediately after your team scores, and really Australia would be disappointed, bitterly disappointed with that.
Here's Schubert. He was looking for Livermore, but it fell kindly for Eglinton. Now Livermore has it. Bevan George. Great victory. They're still celebrating that goal when they were picking it out at the other end. Eric Yazet. Klava runs outside him. A loose ball from Yazet. It was aimed at Evers, but Evers wasn't ready for it. Free hit to Australia. Cummins.
A chance for Australia as they're on the circle edge. They want to make the most of this one. Wells has a lovely flat hit.
Drilled in. Eglinton. Back for Wells. Oh, off the foot of Yazet. Really soft stuff there from Yazet. And again, he complains bitterly, but, well, I really don't know what goes through his mind on occasions like that, Rick.
There's no question about it.
He didn't even have the wit to get out of the circle before he complained. So Godoy there with his hand over his mouth, making sure there aren't any lip readers in the Dutch team.
Australia 1 from 4.
Well, they'll be looking for a return from this one. 3 minutes to go before the break. This would be a perfect way to respond to that second Dutch goal. It's a variation. Godoy taken off the line. Derrick's doing well. That's a good ploy by Australia there, just changing the striker, changing the angle. And Godoy, who scores so often for Australia from there, this time thwarted.
Well, they've already gone to the left. That time they did the dummy and went on to Godoy further, but couldn't quite finish it.
And here's Denoya. Klava onto the foot of Godoy. Play allowed to go on. Del May has the ball. Good umpiring. Now Harris. He's got Cummins against him. Plays the ball into the circle. Cummins helps in the clearing up operation and continues his run. Lovely play by Australia. Transferring the ball well.
It's quick, Eglinton.
McCann. Livermore. Godoy out on the right. Here he is. Drilled in. Eglinton was there, and little deflection onto the foot of Van der Weyde. And this is the side of the game, the Dutch game, that I don't admire.
Very difficult to tell what happened there. May have come off Eglinton's stick and just flown into the back of the Dutch player. They may have a point there, but now they have to defend the corner.
Well, Rick, it's a bit like crying wolf, though, isn't it? If you complain at every corner, when you have got a case, it seems to dissipate somewhat.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's what they do. And they only have themselves to blame if they have little impact.
So another big moment. 1 minute left on the clock. Wells' shots just wide. Good strike. And Holland taking it very quickly again. They're aware that when Australia take these corners, they are stretched at the back. Harris. Cummins delaying things, but Holland keeping possession. Denoya.
Not only are they stretched at the back, they often have some of their forwards back there who aren't typically defenders and perhaps don't tackle as well and don't understand the angles as well. So those are dangerous situations, those break away from the corner defence. Australia come away with it now. Coach Dancer would be bitterly disappointed. This Australian team got back into the game at 1-1, and then immediately the Dutch scored. The the old three-card trick, if you like. It's something that you see happen so often, and a team as experienced as Australia should have been ready for it.
Looks as if both sides have conceded the scoreline to the other at half-time. The half-time hooter about to sound here in Amsterdam. Splendid first half of this Champions Trophy final. The Netherlands have the slenderest of advantages here. They lead by 2-1, and it'll be some tough talking in both dressing rooms over half-time. So it'll be Holland in the orange shirts who get this second half underway. Del May to De Nooijer. 35 minutes to decide the gold medals in this Rabobank Champions Trophy. It's been an excellent tournament. Goals are plenty of thrills and spills. And I'm sure the next 35 minutes will give us no shortage of thrills either. Very even first half. Australia enjoying the lion's share, perhaps, of the corner, certainly. Rick will give you some statistics in a moment. Well, Stato, what was the story of the first half? How many corners did Australia accumulate there?
Australia, 6 corners. They scored once. The Dutch only 1 for no score. Penetrations were close. Australia had more shots at goal, 11-5 from the Netherlands. So Australia probably had the better chances, but didn't have the finish. Australia just keeping coming. Wouldn't surprise at all if they were to restore parity here. Good effort by Godoin.
Great play by Godoin, leading by example as ever. And a penalty corner for the foot of Derricks.
And he was 2 yards inside the circle, and he still finds reason to argue with the ref.
So, chance here for Australia, who are playing with 10 men, remember.
I'm unfair to him. He was just inside the circle. Well played there by the Australians.
Far enough in.
He was, yeah, he was definitely in, no doubt.
So Eglinton going across to push the ball out.
Hopkins is the hitting option with Wells off. Or will Elder take it? Well, Godoin to the left.
Plenty of options still then for Australia. Holland too quickly away from the line. Rob Recker's the first man out there. He was really moving.
A lot of gamesmanship here.
Recipe as before. Elder, great strike, Troy Elder. No mistake there. And that ties it up again. At 2 goals each with 11 minutes left on the clock.
And there's Wells on the bench applauding. Had to come. Lovely finish by Elder. There's no saving that. That's perfect.
Well, that's real quality there, delivering such a quality finish under pressure.
The Dutch have been in second gear. Can they change up?
This is Harris. Deflected over the baseline. This is Eglinton. Runs into Takimar. Good solid take there by Takimar. Now De Nooijer. De Nooijer teasing into the circle. Oh, magnificent! Absolutely magnificent from Teun De Nooijer. And there was no angle at all. And Rick, how did that one get in?
Well, Australia have done it again. They've scored, and suddenly the Dutch get a chance. This is a half chance, and he slipped that under the body of Hickman. Wonderful skill, reluctance to tackle.
Wells, oh, a little mistake there. De Nooijer getting in the way. Klaver and Bevan George doing very well indeed.
George recovers the situation, and now Australia chance. Eglinton, quite the finish, but Victory wins it.
Real end-to-end stuff, but Australia just not able to get the quality possession as De Nooijer takes it on. Klaver ahead of him. De Nooijer, Klaver, he could finish it here. Klaver! Wonderful goal. And surely, Rick, that's it. De Nooijer with the pass, unselfish as ever. And he picked out Karel Klaver. Klaver run unopposed into the circle.
Well, De Nooijer breaks. Wells is caught between. Klaver runs and no trouble finishing there. Hickman caught halfway. And that's a wonderful finish there. Always the danger for Australia was the turnover and the counter-attack. Here's a chance.
Real end-to-end stuff. That game restarted with 4 Dutchmen still celebrating the Australian half, and I've never seen that before. Now Craig Victory. George. Chance there. And Yazet furious with his defence. The Dutch eager not to make the mistake that Australia have made when conceding goals immediately after scoring.
Well, I think they made it, but Australia just didn't finish.
A little more than 2.5 minutes left on the clock. Holland are nearly there. 4-2 they lead. Same score as in the pool match. Bevan George, space on the left-hand side. It's a good ball. Schubert, haven't seen too much of him today. Crowd getting behind the Dutch now. It's all Holland around the stadium, but not down on the pitch. Australia camped in the Dutch half.
And Schubert, forever the finisher, hasn't had the service today that he would have wanted.
Australia still haven't given up. A real never-say-die team.
Oh, here we go.
And Schubert involved there, all right?
Pretty careless by Schubert in his enthusiasm. Dutch perhaps overreacting, and the situation calmed.
Good captaincy there by Godoin, quickly in just to calm things down.
And Delmay too played a part.
And 2 real sportsmen there, De Nooijer and Paul Godoin. Just explaining that there was so much noise, I don't think either side really heard the whistle.
And Schubert, young and enthusiastic.